Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about men, real men. See, a man's love ain't in what he says, it's in what he does. You can't judge him by his sweet talk or the flowers he sends one time. You judge him by his consistency, because when a man truly loves a woman, his actions become louder than any "I love you" could ever be. He'll show up. He'll follow through. He'll stand tall when life gets hard. That's love in motion. A man's love is revealed through his consistency, not his words. You see, anybody can talk a good game. Anybody can tell you they love you, they miss you, they care about you. But words are cheap when there's no action behind them. A man who truly loves a woman doesn't need to say it over and over again, because his life starts to show it. His habits change, his priorities shift, and his consistency becomes his loudest statement. You'll see it in the way he keeps showing up for you, day after day, even when he's tired, even when he's busy, even when life throws challenges at him. Because when a man loves a woman, his love doesn't waver with his mood. He may not always have the perfect words, but he'll always have the right effort. Consistency is what separates a man who's serious from a man who's just passing time. When he's consistent, it means you matter. It means he's making you a part of his routine, a part of his world. He remembers the little things, not because you remind him, but because he's paying attention. He checks in, he follows through, he keeps his word. That's what love looks like when it's mature and real, and that's why you can't be fooled by the man who makes grand promises but never shows up when it counts. The man who truly loves you doesn't disappear when things get inconvenient. He stands right there beside you, steady and present. You can tell how a man feels about you by the way he handles the quiet moments. When the excitement fades, when there's no audience, when nobody's watching, does he still treat you the same way? That's where his heart shows. Because consistency isn't about being perfect every single day. It's about being committed even when it's not easy. A man in love will make sure you never have to guess where you stand. He'll create emotional safety with his reliability. His words and his actions will align. You'll start to feel peace instead of confusion, because his presence will always be dependable. A man's consistency reveals his priorities. When he keeps choosing you, when he keeps showing up, when he keeps doing the little things that make you feel seen, that's love. Not the kind of love that fades when things get tough, but the kind that grows deeper with time. Love isn't proven in the beginning when everything feels exciting and new. It's proven later when life gets real. That's when consistency speaks the loudest. And that's why you never have to chase a man who truly loves you. His consistency will chase away every doubt. A man can say, "I love you" 100 times, but if his actions don't echo it, it means nothing. But when his actions speak before his mouth ever does, that's when you know it's real love. When a man truly loves a woman, he protects her peace like it's his own. See, when a man's heart is in it, he takes on a new kind of responsibility, not one that's forced, but one that comes naturally. He starts to value her emotional well-being the same way he values his own success. He understands that her peace is connected to his presence, and he'll do whatever it takes to keep that peace intact. A man in love doesn't want to be the reason she's anxious, confused, or broken. He wants to be the reason she feels safe, grounded, and confident, because when a man loves you, he doesn't just love your smile, he loves the calm behind it. He'll protect it even from himself if he has to. You can tell when a man values your peace because he stops entertaining chaos. He becomes careful with his words, his tone, his attitude. He starts to think before he speaks, not because he's scared, but because he respects your heart. He won't raise his voice just to win an argument. He won't make you question your worth to prove a point. He'll protect your peace by choosing patience over pride. That's what real men do when they love you. They realize that love isn't about control, it's about comfort. A man who loves you will become your safe place in a world that's already loud and demanding. He'll want you to exhale around him, not hold your breath waiting for the next storm. When a man loves a woman, he becomes her protector, not in the physical sense alone, but emotionally and spiritually. He shields her from unnecessary stress. He won't let other people disrespect her. He'll speak her name with pride when she's not around. That's protection. A man who loves you won't let your name be dragged through the dirt. He'll defend your character because he understands that your peace depends on how you're treated. And even when he messes up, and every man does at some point, he'll take accountability. He'll apologize with sincerity because he knows that peace can't live in pride. You see, peace is fragile. It takes a man with emotional maturity to recognize its value. A man who's still playing games won't understand it. But a man in love knows that protecting your peace protects the relationship. He knows that love can't survive in a battlefield of ego and disrespect. That's why he'll go out of his way to make sure you feel secure. He'll check in not to control you, but to comfort you. He'll listen more, argue less, and make you feel like home. When a man truly loves you, his biggest fear isn't losing you. It's being the reason you lose your peace. Because for him, your peace is his reflection. When you're calm, he feels complete. When you're happy, he feels accomplished. And that's how you know it's real love, when your peace becomes his priority. A man in love becomes selfless. He starts thinking in we, not me. When love hits a man for real, it changes the way he moves, the way he talks, and the way he makes decisions. Suddenly, it's not just about his goals, his schedule, his dreams. It's about the both of you. He starts seeing life through a shared lens. What used to be my money, my time, or my space turns into or plans, or home, and or future. That's what love does. It softens the edges of his independence and turns it into partnership. He begins to think long term, not because he's lost himself, but because he's found something worth building with. You'll notice the shift when he starts including you in every part of his world. He asks for your opinion, not out of weakness, but out of respect, he considers how his choices affect you. He starts to think about your happiness before his comfort. When a man truly loves you, his sense of responsibility grows. He's no longer living just for himself. He's living with purpose, and that purpose includes you. He'll sacrifice sleep to make sure you're okay. He'll rearrange his priorities to fit what's best for both of you, and he'll put his ego aside when it's time to compromise. Because love teaches him that being right isn't more important than being together. A selfish man will always chase pleasure, but a selfless man will chase peace. When he loves you, he doesn't care about having the upper hand. He's not trying to win against you. He's trying to win with you. He'll start to celebrate your victories as his own. He'll want to see you shine, not stand in your way. That's when you'll see his love mature, when your success makes him proud instead of insecure. He'll push you to reach higher, not because he gains from it, but because he genuinely wants to see you grow. A selfless man doesn't compete with the woman he loves. He covers her, supports her, and walks beside her. You can always tell when a man's heart has shifted from me to we, because his lifestyle changes. The late nights that used to be filled with distractions turn into quiet nights of planning and building. His money starts to have purpose, his conversations start to have depth, and his dreams start to include us. That's real love. That's what happens when a man stops thinking only of himself and starts thinking of a future he wants to protect. Love makes him realize that strength isn't about standing alone. It's about standing with someone through it all. When a man truly loves a woman, he'll stop living for his own reflection and start living for the bond he's creating. His pride takes a back seat, his priorities realign, and his every move becomes a reflection of partnership. That's when me disappears and takes over. Real love makes a man show up even when it's inconvenient. You see, when a man truly loves a woman, his effort doesn't depend on the conditions. He doesn't just show up when it's fun, easy, or when things are going his way. He shows up when it's uncomfortable, when he's tired, when the road gets rough, because real love isn't measured in moments of comfort. It's proven in moments of sacrifice. When a man's heart is in it, no distance, no argument, no setback can stop him from being present. He might not have all the answers, but he'll make sure you never feel alone in the struggle. That's how you recognize love that's real. It stays consistent even when it's tested. A man who's just interested will find excuses, but a man who's in love will find a way. He'll show up for you even when the timing isn't perfect. He'll rearrange his plans, shift his schedule, and stretch himself beyond what's convenient because you matter. Love makes him put in effort that comfort never demanded. It makes him show up to every conversation, every challenge, and every emotional storm. He doesn't disappear when things get complicated. In fact, that's when he becomes more present. Because when a man loves you, he wants to be part of both your sunshine and your storms. He's not just there to celebrate the wins. he's there to carry some of the weight too. You'll notice it in the small things. The text he sends just to check on you, the call he makes when you've had a long day, the way he shows up when you least expect it but need it most. That's love in action. It's not about grand gestures all the time. It's about the consistency of being there no matter what. A man in love doesn't leave you guessing. Even when he's struggling, he'll find a way to reassure you. He might not always have the perfect words, but he'll always make the effort to show that you're still a priority. That's what love looks like when it's mature and committed. It stays visible through effort. When life gets hard, love becomes a choice, not a feeling. And when a man truly loves a woman, he chooses to keep showing up. He'll argue, he'll apologize, he'll try again, he'll stand in the rain if that's what it takes to make things right. Because for him, the relationship isn't something to escape from, it's something to protect. And sometimes showing up means being patient, listening when he wants to shut down, or holding your hand when words won't fix it. That's the kind of love that lasts. Because at the end of the day, real love isn't proven by convenience. It's proven by commitment. And when a man keeps showing up, not because he has to, but because he wants to, that's when you know you've got a man who truly loves you. When a man loves you, he invests his time, his effort, his energy, and his loyalty, because real love always costs something, and a man who's truly in it isn't afraid to pay that price. Time becomes his currency, and he spends it where his heart lies. He doesn't make excuses about being busy because he knows love requires presence. A man can make money again, but he can never get back time. And when he gives it to you freely, that's how you know it's real. His effort becomes visible in the little things. He does that no one else sees. He'll drive the extra mile just to see you smile. Remember what matters to you and make sure your needs never go unheard. That's an investment, not just in the relationship, but in the foundation of trust and love he's building with you. A man's investment shows up in how he treats your dreams. When he loves you, he won't compete with your ambition. He'll support it. He'll push you toward your purpose, not pull you away from it. He'll remind you that you're capable when doubt tries to whisper in your ear. He'll put his energy into helping you grow because your growth feels like his own success. Love makes him protective of your spirit, and he'll do everything in his power to make sure the world doesn't dull your shine. When a man invests his heart, he becomes intentional. He starts to plan, to build, to create stability, not because he's forced to, but because he wants to see a future with you that's worth protecting. Energy is one of the biggest signs of a man's investment. A man in love will pour his energy into making you feel valued. He'll show up with consistency, effort, and enthusiasm. Even after a long day, he'll still find time to connect with you. He might be tired, but his love won't run on empty because his heart's in it. He's not just maintaining a relationship, he's nurturing it. When a man loves you, he doesn't treat you like an option. He treats you like an investment that he can't afford to neglect. His loyalty becomes the foundation that holds everything together. He won't entertain distractions. He won't play with your trust, and he won't risk losing something that brings him peace. Loyalty is the truest form of investment. When a man's heart is yours, he guards that connection. He stays true even when no one's watching. He turns down temptation, not because he has to, but because he doesn't want to jeopardize what he has. That's the power of love. It teaches a man discipline, patience, and gratitude. He realizes that loyalty isn't just about staying faithful to you. It's about staying faithful to the future he's building with you. So when a man truly loves a woman, he doesn't just give her promises. He gives her proof day after day through his time, his effort, his energy, and his unwavering loyalty. A man's ultimate sign of love is his willingness to grow for you. See, when a man truly loves a woman, he doesn't just stay the same, he evolves. Love has a way of waking something up inside a man that nothing else can. It makes him reflect on who he is, how he behaves, and how he can become better. He starts to pay attention to things he used to ignore. He notices how his actions affect you, how his words carry weight, and how his choices shape the relationship. A man in love doesn't want to lose a good woman over his pride or immaturity. He'll start working on himself because he sees you as worth the effort. Growth becomes his love language. It's not just about saying, "I'll do better." It's about proving it through change. When a man loves you, he'll face parts of himself that he used to run from. He'll confront his habits, his temper, his fears, because love gives him a reason to. Maybe he's not great at communicating, but for you, he'll learn to talk. Maybe he's never been open about emotions, but for you, he'll start sharing what's on his heart. Maybe he's been stubborn all his life, but for you, he'll learn to listen. That's what love does. It challenges a man to grow in the areas that make him uncomfortable. Not because you demand it, but because he wants to meet you on your level. A man in love doesn't want to drag you through his chaos. He wants to become the peace you deserve. Growth for a man in love doesn't always happen overnight. It's a process. It's him learning from his mistakes, showing up differently, and making changes that stick. You'll see it in how he handles conflict, how he takes responsibility, how he treats you when things get hard. A man who's growing for love won't keep repeating the same behavior that hurt you. He'll apologize, adjust, and do the work, because love without growth dies under the weight of old habits. And a man who truly loves you knows that you can't build a future with someone who refuses to evolve. Love humbles a man. It teaches him that strength isn't in domination, it's in understanding. It's in having the courage to change, to learn, to become better, not just for you, but for himself. And when a man reaches that level of love, he starts building differently. He stops blaming the world and starts looking within. He becomes intentional about his words, his actions, and his presence, because he knows that the greatest gift he can give the woman he loves isn't perfection, it's progress. So when a man truly loves you, he doesn't just promise to grow, he proves it day by day through patience, humility, and effort. That's the kind of growth that doesn't just make him a better man. It makes the love between you unbreakable.